This episode was a little bit more laid back, mundane, and not much stuff happened, even though it's an hour episode. Season 5, episode 12 of Yellowstone, titled Counting Coup, is really different than the previous episode because Casey got so involved, and Taylor Sheridan wrote a phenomenal episode, showcasing Casey at the forefront by figuring things out and doing everything. In this one, Taylor Sheridan just fell off the map with what he could do with it. We don't really see much happening until maybe the last, I want to say, literally 5 minutes of this episode. There is a death in this episode, which I did not see coming at all, and I don't think anyone did at all. And with 2 episodes left up until the season finale or the series finale, it's going to be crazy. Now we see Jamie being questioned by Officer Dillard, Detective Dillard, after what happened to Sarah Atwood at the last episode where she got killed, she was assassinated, targeted, whatever you want to call it. That character's gone, thank God. Now it's like, okay, it's like Jamie's being more like, he's like fragile, you know, he's agile and everything because everything's connected to him, and Dillard's like, you know, what are you talking about? You're not a suspect, but now you're making out like you are one. With that, Jamie runs upstairs to the suitcase, takes out some paperwork, and shreds it because of all of the connections to him. We then see Dillard call Casey, and basically Casey is on his phone on the porch on Dutton Ranch, and he's looking at it, and it's like, okay. Dillard calls him and is like, listen, you know everything's going on. Jamie's like figuring things out. And Casey's like, listen, just put the pedal to the metal and keep focused and keep going forward. Casey then calls his contact, one of his friends, and says, who did this, who did what? We find out that it's Grant, the bald-headed guy who you know evidently also took out Sarah Atwood, I believe. Then Casey shows Beth who's going on, what's happening, and everything. And Casey's like, okay. He calls his friends like, I need this, this, and this. Casey figures everything out. We then see Beth just sitting back behind the scenes and the sidelines, and we then see something happen with Colby. Colby goes to help Carter in the stalls because one of the stallions is, bucking, and he's like going crazy. Colby gets hit in the chest, gets stomped on. Carter shoots the stallion, and Colby dies right there. Didn't expect that to happen. Like, okay. I mean, like, I feel like you just threw away a character for a death scene, and that was it, and that's what happened. We then see how Rip is taking everything in stride, and he's just trying to make things easy, but, he doesn't know what's going to happen or what's Beth going to do with Yellowstone. Sell it, the whole aspect of not wanting the government to get involved because they're going to take it over. We know what they're going to do, which is why the whole reason John Dutton became governor of Montana. And Rip and Beth have a heart-to-heart, which is a nice way to put things. And then we see Casey suiting up, getting ready, going to where he has to go. He tells his wife that, I'll be back tomorrow, I promise. He doesn't tell his wife where he's going, but it's for the better, for her and the family and the ranch. So Casey meets up with Grant after Grant and his daughter have a soccer game. The daughter's in the back seat. Casey comes in, points a gun to the daughter's head, and tells Grant, listen, just drive. All I want you to do is drive. And it's just a whole side of Casey we didn't see, and I absolutely fucking love it because he's badass, he's involved. After 5 seasons, he's the forefront and center of everything that's going on, and he wants to get down to business, and he does that. He threatens Grant in any which way possible because Casey was in the army and everything, and the Marines, and it's just like, oh, okay, what is the aspect of what he can do, what he can't do? He has friends. He knows what he's doing. He knows everything that's going on. And Grant now is scared, which is a really, really good thing because then we can see the aspect of, okay, how will things happen? How will things change? And then it's like, whoa, okay. And then Casey gets in an SUV with Chief Rainwater's right-hand man, and it's like, this is beautiful. And the whole aspect of the counting coup is mentioned and involved, but it's so, so good. I mean, the way Casey is, building itself up as a character right now, I mean, come on. Since the return of this series, he's been a badass. He's just taking matters in his own hands, doing what he has to do, and it's great. I absolutely love it. Beth is not more so there, but something's going to happen down the line where Beth gets her hands on Jamie or Rip or Casey. Something happens, and either Yellowstone is sold to the right buyer, Chief Rainwater buys it, turns it into a conservatory or something, or a kind of historical monument where people can go visit where nothing can be touched about it, or it stays in the family. Casey gets it but then gives it to his son Tate, and it still continues for hundreds of years. Where is this going? I don't know. Taylor Sheridan wrote the entire aspect of season 5, and it's like, oh, okay, what really can happen? So, and Taylor Sheridan put himself in this episode as well, because he does that, and we saw him telling Jimmy at the 4 Sixes that John Dutton died, and I want you to go back and figure it and do something. 2 episodes left up until the season finale, or the series finale. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but I believe it's the series finale, because in the previews for the next few episodes up until the ending, it says the season finale. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens and find out. This was a great episode. I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. Just have to wait and see to find out. Like I said, lackluster. There's an episode where it's like, all right, this is great, and you just sit there and it's scenery, cattle, horses, cows, cowboying, dialogue. That's it. Nothing is really put together until the first 10 minutes and the last 15 minutes, and that's it. These literally could be 30-minute episodes. You can get a lot done and keep it going, but you know, you have to get in the scenery, and it feels like it's going to sound off as like a who's going to buy the ranch, that big buyer, that billionaire. That was an Easter egg in there. Who could that billionaire be if they do sell it? The aspect of the 4 Sixes being now a kind of product placement advertisement, because Taylor Sheridan does really own the 4 Sixes ranch in Texas in real life, after he bought it for, I believe, close to $300 to $500 million, which is insane. So a lot of questions still need to be answered, but let's wait and see what's going to happen. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode of Yellowstone. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about Colby's death? Did that surprise you? Could that have gone a different direction? What do you think the whole aspect is between Beth and Carter, that scene that they had? Do you think Casey is coming into his own finally? And do you think it took too long to do that? And what do you think will happen at the end of this season? And do you think Beth will finally get her hands on Jamie? And who will do who in? That's the question. Because like Beth said, 90% everything is lies, and I'm a fucking liar. So let that sink in. Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week to my Season 5, Episode 13 review of Yellowstone.